Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to another episode of What's Offensive Weekly. This is Scott. This week, Jeff and we're going to give you a little bit of a break because we know that the last few episodes have been really highly offensive, highly emotional. So this episode, we take a step back and we listen to a few of Jeff's quote-unquote Friday thoughts. So, for instance, we're going to talk about whether or not we believe Wendy Williams was formerly a man. Why Jeff has a bad gag reflex and how he found out that he has this. And we're going to talk about a really important story, the guy who owes him $300. And then we're also going to talk about what are our recommendations for you, our listeners. What are we currently reading that we would recommend? What TV shows are we watching? What music are we listening to? What stores are we going to? And even what smartphone apps we currently use the most. So this is a little lighter episode, so just keep that in mind. But I will tell you, Jeff cusses more in this episode than all others combined, so put your earmuffs on. All right, kids, toughen your skin up. It's What's Offensive Weekly.
We're recording. Hello, offenders and offendees.
How you guys doing? Thank you for tuning in. I always say tuning in, and there's no tuning. No tune.
They
download. Thank you for downloading.
There you go.
Thank you for
streaming
another episode of What's Offensive Weekly. I'm Scott.
I'm Jeff.
And that's Jeff. So
that's
we
right.
don't want to give our last names anymore now.
Yeah. I'm Jeff Roark, and this is Scott Henson. Henson, yes.
So
not to be confused with the other Scott Henson.
So in the past, we've had some pretty intense episodes. The last few ones, we talked about racism for a while. We talked about celebrities sharing their opinions. We talked about guns. So it's this episode we're going to take. It's going to be light. It's going to be light. Yeah.
Nobody wants light. Well, what's offensive, man?
We need to be a little lighter. So
are we going to offend, but to still talk about offensive subjects, right?
Well, Jeff, as long as you're talking, it's going to be offensive.
Awesome.
So
that's what I like to hear.
Nothing to fear.
Good.
So, Jeff, on Facebook, you normally do every Friday. You do like Jeff's like thoughts.
Friday thoughts.
Friday thoughts.
Yes.
And I read them there.
Yeah.
People are really looking forward to it. Like
yes.
they
do.
They love to see your Friday thoughts.
They do.
So I thought it'd be cool if we go ahead and just share some of those that some of your thoughts, and we'll just discuss those.
Okay.
And see where this thing goes.
Originally I just started doing my doing a thought here or there, and then I started collecting them all. Kind of I make notes during the week, and so it's a potpourri. It's like half of that, and then half I just think up on the fly there while I'm on the toilet at work, and just doing all that. But it's also a way for me to throw a bunch of every so often I can throw some lighthearted things in there, but then I can also throw a heavy subject in there, and I can still get it out. Yeah. But I don't have to it's just center on that one. You know what I mean? Some people. Correct. And then people read them, and then they're like, number 8 I agree with, number 9 I don't, or whatever, which is cool. It's awesome. Usually it's so much bombarding of shit, information to people and everything. They typically don't start the same, be as passionate about it as they would, as if it was single subjects.
Yeah.
So, okay. So like, for instance, this one,
so this is, are you going to give me some from this past week's?
Sure.
Friday? Okay.
Yeah. Is that cool?
Yep.
This past one.
Pick your favorite ones.
Like number 4. This is the one that everybody was kind of on board with. Was I'm pretty sure that the talk show host Wendy Williams used to be a dude. Okay, and if they always had the TV on at work in the break room, and I can pretty much guarantee that used to be a guy.
I don't think so. But
why?
But
did you ever look at that thing?
She does have kind of a look of maybe a transgender.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There's huge boobs, but that face is just
there's some masculine stuff.
Yeah,
there.
There's definitely a guy. I think she's a Tucker, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
And let's see. I said I have a bad gag reflex, so that I would make a terrible woman unless I was a lesbian. If you know what I'm saying.
What led you to that conclusion that you have a really bad gag reflex?
I just do. I've always had a problem. Like when I was younger, I couldn't swallow pills. I wouldn't even say younger. When I was even older, I couldn't swallow pills. I would have to break it up or freaking chew stuff. Like I took very little medicine because of that. I would always, when I had problems with my ears when I was younger, my mom would always get the liquid medicine, and it would taste like bubble gum, and it was fine. But for whatever reason, like I would always gag when I would try to like swallow a pill. And I know it was just a mind thing.
It is totally
it's just a mind thing. I know because it's like, I swallow way bigger gulps of cheeseburgers than I do
That's
little
exactly
pills, but it was
a
just,
mindset.
It is. It's a mindset, but it's also
mental disorder.
But it may be, but it's also, like my dad used to try to, teach me to do it. And he would say, well, you take the pill and you put it all the way on the back of your tongue. And I would do that. And I would gag right away. That's not a mind thing. Like that's almost like making yourself puke.
That's true.
What I realized was I just put the pill in my mouth and then take a big thing of water and I just put my head back and let it the pill, go to the bottom of the thing of the pool in there, and then I just swallow real quick.
Yeah.
You don't even feel it or anything. But anyway,
Let me tell you another good one
why.
to get around that.
Yeah.
You put the pill in your tongue
Yeah.
and then pretend to be chewing,
Okay.
and you'll swallow it like that.
But what if you chew the pill?
No. You keep the pill in the middle of your tongue, and then basically just chomp. And your brain, because you've done it so long, because that's the pattern that you chew and then you swallow, it will begin to think that's a piece of food.
Yeah.
Would you have a gag reflex if I put an M&M on your tongue?
All the way in the back like that, yeah.
Yeah. But if I put it...
No, not absolutely not. Yeah.
Now you might want to chew the M&M first.
Right.
Or take a bite of cereal and put it on your tongue, like oatmeal.
Yeah.
You just chew, and then down it goes.
That's nice. Okay. Well, I mean, from now on, I'm just going to take all my pills as suppositories, so it doesn't really
That'll
matter.
resolve that one.
Yeah.
There's no gag reflex there.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Wendy Williams was born in Ocean Township, New Jersey.
As Michael Williams.
No, it doesn't say that. Her spouse is Kevin Hunter. She's been married since 1997. She was a radio DJ. She's written a bunch of books. So early life. She's a second child of 3. She graduated from Boston Northeastern University in Boston, Massachusetts. She has her degree in communications. She was a DJ. Yeah, so it doesn't have...
Where did you get all this information? Wikipedia?
That's
Exactly,
correct. That's
motherfucker.
correct.
Yeah, right. They're not going to put on there she has a dick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Personal life. Yeah. Nothing in here. So I think that she's a woman that just looks like a dude. All right. That's what I think. All right, next one.
All right,
next Friday
one.
thought.
We should be able to kill and eat those damn annoying Canadian geese. Those things are all over the place. I think that would solve a lot of problems. We would eradicate those motherfuckers. We wouldn't have as much shit all around, and we would be able to feed homeless people with them. What about that?
And they're very aggressive.
They are aggressive. That's why I don't like them. Like regular ducks and stuff. Ducks are awesome. We go to the park, we feed ducks, whatever, bread. I know you're not supposed to. Fuck off. I don't care. But I just, we throw the bread and it's fun and everything. But those Canadian geese are just mean, man. They're just mean. Holy
You ever seen
crap.
somebody get attacked by one of them?
Yeah. You ever see those videos and stuff? Oh my God, it's terrible. Yeah.
We have a problem over where I work with wild turkeys. And they too,
Really?
Yeah, they too are very aggressive. Like they'll take on a car. Not the smartest animals.
Yeah, they're not going to win that one.
But they'll take on the car, or they'll just hiss at you, and people are getting back in their car screaming. So, yeah, that happens a lot.
Ugh.
All right, so you want us to be able to kill and eat
Canadian
geese. Okay.
And I did find this out. Somebody posted about that. Apparently, you can. There's a they're not endangered anymore or protected or something. There's a certain hunting period that you can, but you can't kill. I'm talking about like I should be able to run it over with my fucking car or whatever, or kill it at the park. And obviously, you can't shoot off a gun or bow and arrow at a park at a Brunswick Park or something or whatever. So.
But they do have a hunting season for Canadian geese.
Apparently they do. Yeah,
my dad actually has one. He has a stuffed Canadian goose that he got when he was young.
Really?
Yeah, we're talking when he was in his teens.
Okay. Well, I mean, when you look it up, it says that they're protected species. So yeah, I'm not
matter
sure
in
what.
Tennessee.
Yeah, well, nothing matters in Tennessee. I mean, my dad's from Tennessee, so I mean,
my dad too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, maybe they know each other.
I love Tennessee. If and when I could move back there, I think I will.
Oh, we went to Gatlinburg this last year again twice. It's the second time we went. It was awesome, man. We loved it. Yeah.
That's a little bit like a mini Las Vegas. It's
yes.
It's just
it's like I said it's like a kid's Las Vegas almost.
Yeah.
That whole strip.
Is there gambling there now? It's this very
That's a good question.
touristy. I don't know that there. It's just touristy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, like with the kids stuff, I'm just saying there's a lot of the go-kart tracks and all of that, stupid shit, whatever.
Putt-putt.
Putt-putt,
Yeah.
Go-karts,
funnel cakes, cotton candy.
Sure. There you go. A lot of mining stuff, like mining a geode or whatever from like the rocks, and you do all the 49er stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
But I love Tennessee. Very, very beautiful state.
Yes.
I'd like to move back there someday if I can.
You used to live there?
I sure did.
How
Chattanooga.
long?
I was there from 8th grade until my junior year, so 4 years.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yep. And visited many times, and I'm heading back down there in April
4.
for a high school reunion.
Really?
Yep. Looking forward to it.
Wow.
Go ahead.
50 years goes by fast, huh? Mm-hmm. All right.
Offensive. Deeply.
God, it's like one of those things. I wonder if I should even say this one, but
You already put it on Facebook.
yeah, I did.
So why
But
would
I
you be
did,
hesitant here?
well, I would be hesitant because first and last name.
then don't put their name.
Fuck that. I don't care. I'm going to put their name.
I'm
You
gonna,
know what?
Go ahead. I'm going to edit it out.
Don't edit it out. Don't you dare edit this out.
Don't do this to me, Jeff.
Are you sorry?
Don't do this to
telling
me.
you.
Don't put me in this position.
All right.
I'm trying to save
There's
us.
this guy.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. His name's Brian Fallon, and he owes me $300. All right. 2 years ago, when it was a guy I went to high school with, and when I said he still owes me the money. If somebody sees him, could you let him know? I would, but he told me to contact him on here. Then he blocked me. Okay. So
what's the story here?
the story here is that he contacted me 2 years ago to do a photo shoot for his daughter, who is a drum major.
Gosh.
What?
I'm just listening to you. I'm like, I'm seeing where this is going.
She was a drum major, which is the conductor of the marching band.
Yeah.
Okay. So, she was like in 10th grade, I think it was. And that's a big deal to be the drum major of the marching band.
Yeah.
That's like the second leader type of thing or whatever, besides the director.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I went down there. He lived in Lakewood. Went down there, went to the whole game, the football game and everything, sat through the whole thing, took pictures of her beforehand. I was on the field. I'm taking pictures. I've never done anything like this, before. There was a parade beforehand. I'm doing the parade. I'm like the fucking paparazzi out there.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
doing
all
all
over.
this stuff all over the place, working my ass off, running around, doing all this stuff and everything. And it was cool. I liked it. Don't get me wrong. It was a good experience and everything. But so then I did these pictures, developed them all, just, put them through the program on the computer, and tweaked them and all
Right.
that stuff and everything. Got them all done. Probably like 100 pictures or 200. I don't know. I forget how many now. I still have them. But so then I showed them to him on my website.
Yeah.
And you can't download from there. So it was just like, just showing him, making sure that he liked them. He liked them. Then he's, I love them. They're great, blah, 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 all this stuff. We were going to meet up. He was going to give me the money. I was going to give him the flash drive with the thing down there or whatever. Then he just never called me. Kept trying to get a hold of him. Wouldn't call me. This was like 3 months then, wouldn't call me. So come to find out, I heard that he was in some sort of an accident. Okay. But this is the thing. He was in an accident, like a car accident. Okay. But it wasn't, he's not dead.
He didn't lose a limb
He
or
didn't lose a
anything?
limb or anything. Okay. But he was claiming he was very loopy on the meds or something. Okay.
When he
But-
agreed to the
no,
No.
when yeah, right. When he was saying all that he was loopy and everything, and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. Give me the money. I kept saying. He kept texting him, nothing. Finally, I put it up on Facebook. I said, hey, you would think that a guy who works for X company would pay me. Well, he actually works for the government, so IRS actually. So I said, you would think that a guy who works for the IRS would pay me money, blah, blah. So then everybody went to school, just knew who it was and everything. And then, so there's one girl who he wants to get in her pants. She lives up here, or she lives in Tennessee actually. And he's one of these friend zone guys who's like, really good friends with her and everything.
Yeah.
So she got all pissed off. She's like, no, there's no way it was him, blah, 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 all this stuff. 2 hours later, the fucker texts me this big, long, incoherent text because it's one of those things like I got like literally like 15 pages of the text, or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were all jumbled all around and everything,
Yeah.
it was like one of those weird things, but it was basically telling me to fuck off or something. I don't know. I still don't know exactly what it was saying, like you're an asshole for putting it out there or something like that. And I'm like, I tried to text you all these fucking times. Then when this cunt texts you, then all of a sudden you're able to text me. You couldn't just go, all I'm saying, I don't care if he was like, I can't even pay you now. Oh, just communicate
Own
with
it.
me. Just let me know.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, fine, that's no problem. Just pay me whenever you can. We'll work something out. But it was this non-existent communication. Okay. So then
He did not know who he was dealing with.
he did not. And then, he's very political. He used to be on the Brunswick school board and all kinds of stuff. Okay. He was I think he was the youngest person to ever run for like governor or something like that. He was like 18 or something, or a congressman or something, the Senate. I don't know, whatever. He ran when we were in high school. So it was like a big deal. He was 18 in high school and then he ran.
All right.
Anyway. So then he, don't hear from him for so long, blah, 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 all this stuff and everything. And I had him blocked for a long time on Facebook because I didn't want to fucking deal with it. He still had my number, you could still, because he was always commenting on political stuff and I do too. So then finally one day I'm just like, fine, fuck it, I just unblocked him. And then he was saying all this other shit about one of the pages I go to or somebody's page or something. He said something about, people need to take responsibility for blah, 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 and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, kind of like when, you're supposed to pay somebody for services rendered. And, I did that whole spiel. Jeff, it's so good to hear from you. I'm glad that you finally unblocked me. Message me and we'll talk about this. He goes, you can either message me, text me, or Facebook message me and let me know what's going on, or we can talk about this, or email me. I go, you can either pay me in PayPal, cash, or a check. and there's nothing to talk about. I want my money.
Yeah.
Then he blocked me.
Nice.
So then I put in my Friday thoughts, about this, because I'm not going to let it die. And I'll see him again one day.
Does he still live in Brunswick?
No, he's in Lakewood. He lives in Lakewood.
Okay.
So, but I'll see him. He comes out for friends, and he comes out for he'll come out for like school events or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll like do a reunion or something like that. I don't give a fuck if it's 50 years from now. I'm going to see him and I'm going to remember this. So
will you want interest?
Maybe, yeah, because I would sure as hell charge a lot more for what I did now than what I did then.
Yeah.
So, but nonetheless.
You will see him, and
I
you will
see
want
him.
payment.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. So I put that on there, and so one of my friends who's not friends with him said he messaged him and told him, and he didn't get a reply back, but he said, I'm going to do this every 2 weeks now. I'm like, cool, great, thanks, please do.
Every 2 weeks, a new message like, hey, you still owe Jeff
You still owe
$300.
$300. Yep.
Wow. Have you had any other bad experiences like that with the photography?
No.
Do you do weddings?
No.
The way you said no almost indicates that you will not do. Like that's
I will
off.
not.
That
Yeah,
is
I don't
off.
want to do.
You have no interest. In that.
I did one wedding for a friend's mom, and just because basically I just wanted the experience to try it out and see what it was like. It was a very low key wedding. It was like they're both their second weddings, and it was just like at a park. It was nothing crazy big or anything. So I thought that would be a kind of a cool thing to just check out and everything. There's a lot that goes into that. Everybody talks about how it's very expensive to have a photographer or whatever for your wedding. There's a reason. There's a lot to it. You're running around like crazy. You're trying to get good shots. You're bringing ladders there. There are people who are doing all kinds of crazy things with props and doing all kinds of stuff, which I don't mind. It would be fun. It's cool. It's one thing if it's my full-time job, but it's not my full-time job. And I don't want to have to deal with the Bridezilla bullshit or whatever. Mm-hmm. And my thing too is, you really have to, maybe in the future I might, but you really have to, you have to have insurance. That's huge. I don't have insurance or anything like that. I do some senior pictures or whatever. And I like doing it, and it's fun, and people love them. But, if I mess up or say my camera breaks, I can just redo them. I can't redo a wedding. You know,
Right.
if my
Correct.
camera. So you really have to have a really expensive camera. You know, you have to have a double slot camera. You have to. There's all kinds of different things. Typically, for a wedding, you hire somebody to help you. You know, usually there's two people. You know, and one's doing video, one's doing some other stuff. You know, you're getting video of. There's a lot to it going on. I love the senior picture thing. It's awesome. So very. It lets me be creative. I don't. There's not a lot of pressure on me or anything like that.
Yeah.
The money's good. So.
We heard from a friend who has done that before, and the biggest obstacle was other people taking pictures and getting
Yes.
into the shot.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And having
you
to
have
corral
to deal with
them.
that.
Yeah.
And then people, I've heard of that too. I make friends with other photographers and stuff, and people get so pissed when you're like, you know, the actual photographers there trying to take a picture, and you're like, and you know, Grandma Jones is there with her flip phone trying to get a quote unquote good picture.
I'm trying to take a selfie.
Watch out! I've known little Alicia since she was 2. Okay, fucking sit down, Grandma. I'll get it. You'll get a copy of the picture. Shut the fuck up.
You're
So-
such a way with people.
I do. I'm going to write for Hallmark one day. So I just don't want to deal with that, you
Yeah.
know. And I like doing the senior picture thing. It's fun. I'll do, you know, I like doing it. Like engagement pictures would be cool.
Okay.
You know, stuff like that.
Just small, intimate.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Controlled. You have
controlled.
control.
Exactly. More controlled like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Outside, you know, controlled. That'd be good. But typically with the engagement pictures, they use the same photographer for the wedding, so it's usually kind of a bundle package. So I don't get that. But
Okay.
you know,
All right. What else you got on your list?
all right, let's see what else I got on my list. Oh God,
Come on, give me an offensive one. You love being offensive. So
I do love being offensive. Like I think it's bullshit that they sell prepackaged ground meat in that little bit overweight of 2.3 pounds instead of 2 pounds to make you pay more.
Okay.
Isn't that offensive?
Okay. Hold on.
No.
Help me understand that one.
Okay. Oh, I thought that was going to be.
Yeah. So I read that one, and I'm like, what are you expecting?
I'm expecting 2 fucking pounds. Okay,
Yeah.
this is the thing. This is
Okay. Hold on.
yeah.
Do you want it where they're basically saying, listen, we know that it's 2.3, but we're going to charge you as though it's 2 pounds? Is that what you're wanting?
No,
Or
I'm
you're
wanting
wanting it? You
2
want it-
pounds.
You want a legitimate, like, atomic weight? Like
I
you
want
to
it
be
closer
exactly,
to. I want it closer to 2 pounds than 2.5, because it's always like
Okay.
2.3. And the reason that they do that is because what recipe calls for 2.3 pounds? Nothing. It's a pound of meat. You go by pounds.
But my-
okay. So if
That's
you're
fine.
if you're doing that, you can do the machine so it's exactly or pretty damn close.
Can you do
to
the
two-
machine? That was my only question. That was my only question. Was
Yes,
do they have
absolutely
do they
you
have
can.
the power, or are they basically just like eyeballing it? And we think this is around 2.
No, I work in automation. I'm telling you, this is how they do it. That they can automate those lines to cut it off at exactly that point, without a doubt. They can do it with 2.3, and every single fucking one of them is 2.3.
But what are we talking? We're talking about ground beef.
Yeah, ground meat.
But I don't know.
Yes, absolutely.
Listen,
Don't be
hold on,
fooled.
hold on. I don't doubt that the technology exists.
Yeah.
I'm wondering whether or not Giant Eagle has purchased that stuff that it can basically start grouping it in exact pounds.
They can group it in exact 2.3 pounds. So why can't they group it in exact 2.0?
You think they always do it 2.3?
Yes.
Oh.
It's a proven thing where, because if you do it 2.4, then people are going to buy 2 packages and it would just be basically 5. So if it's 2.3, that's just enough to make you buy more. And most people are just going to go, well, fuck it, I'm just going to buy 2.3. And then that ups the price like $1 or whatever it is. And then you get to sell more.
Now, I have seen like underneath a pound or underneath 2 pounds. I mean, I've seen it on both ends. I don't necessarily always see it over.
You don't go grocery shopping enough. You just leave it for the woman, don't you?
Well, you can ask
sexist
her.
son of a bitch.
You can ask her.
I will ask
I
her.
have
I
went
bet you
out,
she knows.
and I've seen under. It's the same way as like when I go in and I order lunch meat. I'll say I'd like 2 pounds, and they'll go, "Is this enough?" And it's not. If I say I want a pound of turkey, roasted turkey,
Yeah.
they're like, "Well," and
I'm
they'll-
talking the prepackaged stuff. I mean, if they're just putting it on a scale, then yeah, you can.
See, my presumption has always been in that case is that they were going, all right, we're never going to get it exactly at 2, so we're going to put it in here. It's 2. That's fine. how much does it weigh? Label it on there. But I've never always presumed that they're intentionally making it 2.3. I understand, and if you're right, like, oh, that is kind of crappy.
They are. Say it's $3 a pound. Okay, so that's a pound every third. So if they do 2.3, then it's $7, not $6. Bam, boom.
I can see. Okay,
think about that.
All right.
How offensive is that? All right, now this one. Okay, this guy from high school. Okay, here we go. This could be a whole thing.
Okay.
How much time we got?
It's 24 minutes. We're at 24. We're good.
Okay, okay. So he belongs to this organization. I'm not. He's not a friend, but he belongs to this organization called ACN. Have you ever heard of this?
No. What does it stand for?
It's I don't know. Assholes can't. Number things. I don't know. I don't know what it stands for. Basically, what they do is they get with they sell like cell phone plans and different things like that or whatever. So they'll get with, say, Verizon or whoever. This is my understanding. They'll still get with Verizon and they'll say get a plan for X amount, and then they mark it up that little, and they get a discount because it's they'll say, well, we could sign up so many people or whatever and all that stuff. So that's how they make their living is through that, selling gas and cell phone plans and all that shit or whatever.
Okay.
So it's a modern day Bernie fraud type of Bernie Madoff type of pyramid scheme.
Type. Okay.
Where it's a modern day Amway is what it is. If you're familiar with
that's
Amway.
Exactly what I was thinking the whole time.
It's like Amway. And so you get more and more people involved, and you get more and more this and that and everything. And so this
which I was a part of.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, you're a fucking idiot. I didn't realize that. Good for you, man. How'd that go? Well, you're not working there now, huh?
Yeah,
exactly. Right. Okay. You just didn't try hard enough.
Yeah.
That's what they always tell you.
Yeah.
Right. There's the key buzzwords and everything. So this dude was, he's just a shyster. He's always talking about how he's, I barely know the guy, and he's had like, I could name you 10 jobs that he's had. And it's always like salesman jobs, and it's always like he's sold vacuum cleaners and all this stuff, and like literal door-to-door vacuum cleaner salesman. So that should tell you right there. Anyway, so he's into this thing. He's been into this thing for a couple of years or whatever, and so just recently he was promoted. And they always make this big thing about it's your company. You have your own company and it's your own thing or whatever. Well, he was just promoted to regional vice president. So I don't know how the fuck you're promoted to regional vice president of your own company and who promotes you to your own company. But I don't know, wouldn't you be president? I don't know. I don't get it. But then they have like this whole thing at like a huge arena, and they literally, I'm not even kidding you. They carry him out like a fucking Roman gladiator, like on one of those, things on their shoulder or whatever, and him and his wife, and they come out and he gives the whole hoo-ha speech and all this bullshit about it or whatever. And that's all it is. It's about getting people at your home and trying to sell them this stuff.
That's Amway.
That's Amway, and it's all about you don't talk to anybody about the company unless you're in this. They come to one of these meetings because that's what it's all about. And you get one person who's going to do this, and the other people become customers, and then you build off of that, and it's just all it is a huge scam pyramid. All the way up, pyramid bullshit and everything. And then their whole thing is always, well, everything's a pyramid. Your work is a pyramid. Well, yeah, my work is a pyramid because you have upper people in front of you. Obviously, everybody has a boss, type of thing. But we sell legitimate products, around the world. Yeah. And they take taxes out, and I pay, they give me a 401k, and I have a pension and all this stuff. This is all just it's a scam.
And everybody up has a very specific role, and it's more than just cheerleader.
Right. Exactly. Okay. That's what it is. It's like a mid cheerleader, top cheerleader, head cheerleader.
Yeah. It's more
ultimate cheerleader, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the people in that, some of the people in there are fine. I have good friends that kind of got me into it.
Okay.
And they were older than me, so I definitely like respected them.
Okay.
And they're good people. But they started saying, well, what the first thing they did was I said, I'm kind of interested in like, well, we don't know. We'll have to think about it. Like, that's genius.
Right
like,
there, exactly.
Yeah.
Right there, you're saying you can't have this. I want it more.
Yeah, I want it more.
Right.
And so like finally I said, well, we'll take a chance. And so all of a sudden now I'm kind of in. And so you go to one of their meetings and when I say their meetings, I don't mean like this couple. I mean, they go to one of these group meetings that they have someplace. And so somebody will always get up and tell a story about, I started off, I was working this dead end job and all of a sudden I did this and this. And now I pull up in that Cadillac outside you guys see. And then they would give or sell you these tapes and they would tell you need to listen to these tapes like every day. And all these tapes are cheerleaders going, so you know what I love now? I love waking up every day naturally. I haven't woken up to an alarm clock in 30 years. And that's all it is. And so it's just, again, with your emotions, it's just keeping your emotions high, just reducing any negativity, anyone telling you can't do it. The fact that I was almost broke, but I'm now trying to go ahead and buy these things. The creme de la creme was, dude, I was in Charlotte, North Carolina. We drove, a group of us. That was where they had this huge Amway thing. They sold out the arena there at Charlotte, North Carolina. It was all Amway people, and they didn't bring anybody out on a like a Roman god or anything. But they had music and comedians, and it was enormous. And this dude came out and gave this incredible speech, and everybody's just all pumped up. Can't wait to go back out and sell more Amway. And at a certain point in time, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Just can't.
Yep.
I mean,
it's the same thing. This guy's all like, my house burned down 2 years ago, and now look at me. I blah blah blah. And he's like, I finally bought a Mercedes, and he's leasing it, and it's this leasing thing. Have you heard about this this new lease thing or whatever?
Please tell me, because I saw one last night for Mercedes
with luxury cars.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about something different, but go ahead.
Okay. It's a lease. You lease it monthly. It costs $500 initially. Okay. Or something like that. It's something like $500 or $1,000. Then every month it's $950. But you get a new car every month. Brand new sports car. You get to pick out of all of these whatever cars or whatever. But every month, but it's $950.
Plus the initial $500 to get in.
Yeah. And it is like, this is the future of leasing. Well, it's the future of fucking idiots is what it is.
Does it include gas and insurance?
It better include a hooker to blow me. Oh my God. $950.
Now, to me, that sounds outrageous. To some people, like, that's a bargain.
Well, sure. Okay, that's fine. But
I don't know who those people are. But,
I know.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's $12,000 a year. Let's just say, basically. In a nutshell, it's $12,000 a year to have a brand new car every month. But that's for people who obviously, okay, fine. Hey, you might be doing good, whatever. But the pyramids collapse after a while, with all of this shit. I mean, people like you get like, I'm not going to sell this stuff anymore. And you just keep going on. And you constantly have to try to find suckers. And it's something like 98% of the people who join these pyramid schemes like this, multi-level marketing, as they call it, quit. So you constantly have to find these people, and it's $500 just to join it. No, initially, first off, that's where they make the majority of their money. So, if you can get the ball rolling, that's great, and you'll be doing good. But then, after a while, you're going to be, and so if you're renting a car for $950 a month, that tells me you have very, very poor financial sense. Or
it would appear, or you're really well off.
You're really well off.
So either you're an idiot or you're a genius.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's an idiot.
Well, those are good. All right. So next time we'll do the same thing. We'll close it up with this. We'll close up with any kind of recommendation. So I know that this episode is really very much more so people can get an idea of who you and I are.
Okay.
So with your Friday thoughts, they're seeing into your soul.
Sure.
To that empty, decrepit
dark,
desert that it is.
Cold. Yes.
That all you think about is stuff like Brian Fallon.
Yes. Oh, you son of a bitch. You brought him up.
My question would be like, if I had to ask you to recommend to someone a book, movie, things like that.
Website?
Yeah, yeah. So,
right.
So I'll give you an example. A book recommendation. A book that I'm reading right now. I happen to have it here. Hold on.
Hold on. He's getting it. He has it in his hand.
This is called 12 Rules for Life by Jordan B. Peterson. I first saw him doing an interview with Ben Shapiro, and then I went and started watching some of his other videos with Ruben. I think it's Mike.
Ruben Studdard, the big black guy from American Idol.
No, the Rubin
The teddy
Report.
bear?
It was him on the Rubin, Rubin, Rubin Report.
Oh.
And I saw some really interesting things that he'd said. So I'm reading that book right now, and I think that's pretty interesting. I would probably I've not finished it, so I don't know that I can officially recommend it, but it's something I'm reading. Are you reading anything right now?
Oh, that's fucking stupid. But I don't read self-help books. So it looks like a self-help book or something. Yeah, exactly.
It's obvious that you don't.
Right.
But what are you currently reading?
I'm reading the April '98 edition of Hustler, and
Who are they interviewing in that episode?
George
That
Michael.
issue? Okay.
Yeah, and
Bring
piqued
it
your
over.
interest, didn't I?
Bring it over.
I am currently reading the entire run of Amazing Spider-Man, 1 through. I am at issue 297 right now, interspersing with Spectacular and Web of Spider-Man, which ran concurrently with the series, and I'm alternating in between that. So I'm trying to do this in chronological order.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
quite daunting actually,
I'm sure that it is.
because I'm at 297, so basically 300, and now Amazing is it's 795.
Who was the story writer of that? Was that Stan?
Stan did the first,
Or was it the art?
Stan wrote the first 80 issues, I think, 90, something like that,
Of this run?
of Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is this the very first one? Was there a Spider-Man before this?
this series. No, it was like started in 1963, and that was not like number one, whatever. And then it's every month since then. So I mean, you've got every couple years you're changing writers and artists and all
Okay.
that stuff. So yeah,
How far? Okay, so you said you're up to what issue now?
297. Like it's like 1988 or 7. something
Okay.
like
At that point in time, issue whatever you just said, because
Yeah.
I've already forgotten it.
that. 297.
297. How far out do they know where the story's going?
It depends on the writer.
Okay.
So, like Dan Slott, he's writing the new ones now, and or he was, and he's been a writer for like 10 years on a bunch of Spidey books. So he can plot out something pretty far in advance. If you know that your numbers are good, people
Yeah.
are buying it and everything. Back then, they would probably go like 5 issues or so ahead.
The story was
Yeah.
that short term.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. So, when's the last time you bought a Walking Dead?
Oh, I buy the trades all the time.
Okay.
The trade is like a collected edition of like say 6 or 7 issues or whatever.
So,
But I'm kind of cut back on reading those. I still love it and everything, the book, but I've been concentrating on Spidey stuff or whatever. So I'm like 3 trades back, so probably 20 or 30 issues back on.
oh, you're farther than me.
Okay.
I think so you know that the comic all of a sudden kind of had this pretty dramatic change, like artistically, the style wise, it changed dramatically.
When? Like issue 7?
No. I mean, there was early changes back there with like the way that Rick was drawn.
Well, yeah. Well, Charlie Adler did the original.
It looked more
Or
like
he does it now, and then Tony Moore did the first 7, who created it with Robert Kirkman.
okay. So those first 7 have a real cartoonish kind of a look
Okay.
to them, and then as it got older, it took on a more realistic kind of a look. Even the header of The Walking Dead changed. I would say it's probably around episode or issue 100 and something.
Okay.
Ultimately, in the storyline, it changed once the Negan thing resolved.
Okay.
When it seemed
All
to
Out
resolve.
War. Okay.
Yeah, it seemed
Okay.
to resolve, and then all of a sudden, the next episode, maybe issue 141, all of a sudden there's a brand new character that shows up. We're probably 10 years in the future from
Okay.
when the Negan resolution.
Oh, geez, you're spoiling stuff for me, man.
I'm sorry, but I've really not read it that religiously since then.
Okay.
With the TV show, with the TV show, where I find myself today, and a question I continue to ask myself is, how long can I be entertained by hopelessness?
That's a problem.
And this show, I don't want them to go much longer. I really don't.
I said the same thing when I was reading the book. I would always, when I'd get done with the latest trade, I would ask my wife, I'd go, why am I reading this?
Yeah.
It's depressing.
Yeah.
But it's great. But it's depressing.
They have the potential here where they could turn this thing around. The show has given them outs. I don't know if I don't think you even watch the show. No. But there are outs that they could take, and I'm not even worried anymore about keeping up with has to stay true to the comic.
They're already past the comic,
exactly.
So don't worry about that.
But they could bring out hope and a good resolution here. But I think that they're not going to. I think that unfortunately they're going to go down this path where they're just going to keep doing it just because they're getting paid, and that's unfortunate.
As soon as you start having happy zombie stories, people are going to tune out.
That's fine, but don't you dare wake them up and it was just a dream. Don't you dare go back.
Don't pull Bob Newhart.
Yeah,
unless you bring Bob Newhart.
That'd
on
be fine
the show.
as a zombie.
Yeah.
But don't let Rick just all of a sudden wake up in the hospital, and that this is
no. In the comics, Robert Kirkman always said it's
not a dream.
He said it's not a dream, but he also said there's no resolution as to why there are zombies. He goes, if I'm talking about that, I'm lost. That's it. And he said the story is about Rick, and as soon as Rick dies, then it's over.
Well,
but that's the comic.
Yeah.
That's not the show. So
all right.
Nonetheless.
So TV shows then. Let's talk about that. What TV shows would you recommend?
I don't watch.
But you don't watch TV.
Twilight Zone. That's it. I'm currently watching Twilight Zone in chronological order with my daughter, and she loves it.
Have you heard of Black Mirror?
Yeah, you know what, man? I'll tell you what. If one more person tells me fucking Black Mirror, I'm going to kill them.
Listen to me now. I've not watched an episode.
I watched the first episode, and it drove me crazy. I'm like, no, I'm not. No. I'm on this Twilight Zone fan page on Facebook, and everybody talks about that and says it's the modern Twilight Zone.
That's what I've heard.
I don't know. I'll try it again, but I wanted to scream at the first episode. I don't know. It was just because I guess it's one of those things like I was expecting a Twilight Zone type of thing, and it was just weird. You know what I mean? Like weird. Like that's the thing. That's what's missing today. And like I love horror and I love being scared and suspense and all that stuff, and that's what's missing is just is everybody is weird just for weird's sake instead of having a reason to be, all of a sudden,
yes.
You just see a person having sex with a pig or something, and it's like, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah,
or whatever, and they just try to do stuff just to try to gross you out or scare you. Whereas Twilight Zone was very psychological, and they stay with you.
Okay,
so
let me try to think of a TV show that I would currently recommend.
For me, Big Fat Gypsy Wedding?
No, I wouldn't recommend that one at all.
Cosby Show?
No, I wouldn't recommend that one.
Why,
either.
You're racist?
Nope.
Maybe you need to think about that.
I don't think I do.
Yeah, I think you do.
I love pudding bops.
You're the worst impressionist. I love your impression.
And I used to be really good as a teen.
Pops.
As a teen, I was really good at imitation. So at least I thought I was. Yeah. But as I got older, I'm losing.
Here, lady, drink this drink. How about that?
Yeah. All right. So, TV shows. The only TV show
chloroform pudding pops.
The only TV show I ever really recommend is Breaking Bad.
Okay, I still haven't watched it. I want to watch it. Everybody says it's the greatest show in the history of television, literally. And I do want to start watching that. But
I really do think
I have a hard time staying still.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty good.
I can't do.
You could do that, and you could like organize your comics or something like that.
That would be cool. Yeah, I could do that.
Any new music you're currently listening to?
New music?
Yeah, or I'll just say this: new to you.
Oh, anything? New to me. You don't hear any of what I'm listening to. I don't know. I mean,
well,
that's all metal stuff that most people who listen to this probably aren't listening to.
Well, that's very. It's just the opposite of me.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I listened
to heterosexual music. You listen to homosexual music.
I listened to this record. It was it's Simply Red, performed at Royal Albert Hall in London, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Have you ever heard of a band called the Sparks?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't. I know I've heard of them. I couldn't tell you what kind of music they play, or I couldn't name a song.
You have to listen to Sparks, an album called Little Beethoven, and it's very. God, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's kind of. I almost want to say like carnival-ish, kind of fun.
Yeah.
A little weird. They're a band. They've been around for like 40 years. They're two brothers. They're out of LA. I know this sounds cliche or whatever, but they're very big overseas, but they never really popped here. But they literally have albums for 40 years. And I mean, it's a very large discography, very weird and just, kind of bizarre stuff. But they're good. I like them. And
okay. I did I did recently get in the mail. I just ordered off Amazon. It was a reissue of Listen Without Prejudice Volume 1 by George Michael.
Oh my God.
And that's very good. My son looked at it and said, "Don't you already have this record?" I said, "I do. I do have this record, but this is remastered."
Okay.
So, which means I just bought another copy.
This just proves again how much we're alike, but we're yet so different. As yesterday, I just got, I'm not even kidding, from Amazon, I got a reissue, remastered of the first Violence album called Eternal Nightmare, and it comes with a bonus CD of a live show that they did back in the day from 1988.
Now that's good. You see, this reissue of Listen Without Prejudice, if you get it on CD, which I did.
I'm sure you did.
See, this is vinyl. This is the sickness of it.
Oh, okay.
The CD, it will give you the remastered CD, and they also they had this thing where George Michael did it on an MTV Unplugged, and so that live, you could hear that live show. That's worth it. And I kept waiting, thinking, please release that same thing on vinyl. But they didn't. I will tell you the record, the reissue that I really want, but it's like $150 right now. It's a 7-album set. It's the Joshua Tree. It's you do the Joshua Tree.
Okay.
The first 2 records of 7 are the Joshua Tree itself. Two other LPs in there are them performing the Joshua Tree record at Madison Square Garden back in 1987. That's why I want that record so much. I just want to hear. I want to have that live, and then the rest is like some B-sides and stuff like that.
It amazes me how these bands do this. Whatever. Metallica's doing the same thing with all their albums, and they put out these huge box sets. Mm-hmm. And Master of Puppets is my favorite album of all time. Mm-hmm. And they put out this huge box set, and it's like $170 or something. Yeah. And it's literally like it's like the album, the demos, live, interviews. Like all these different albums. I forget how many there's. I want to say there's 7 albums in that or something like that over one fucking album that's 50 minutes long. Yeah. I don't. It boggles my mind. I mean, I didn't get it, but I got the CD, which was
Jimmy Page. Really, I think he's one of the big ones that started this whole thing because he will just continue to re-release. Here's a remaster of that last remaster.
I hate Led Zeppelin so much.
I know we talked about this. I don't get. What about Pink Floyd?
Oh, I love Pink Floyd.
Good.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Me too. I'm right there.
The Wall is one of my favorite albums.
It is so good.
I love the album. Yeah.
It is so good. All right. So any retail stores that you would recommend, like over there in the Brunswick area, or products that you'd like?
Land.
Donut Land. We love Donut Land. Yes. We love Donut Land. Please visit them.
Website. I know a cool website.
Yeah, what's that?
Pornhub.com. And you go there and you type in BBC.
No.
FFM.
No. No.
What? Oh, jeez. Yeah, you're such a prude.
Don't do that. I know. My sites that I go to, National Review.
Okay.
Daily Wire. These are all
right leaning conservative. Yeah.
Well, but okay. I would consider these more central than like Drudge Report.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah.
Like Ben Shapiro. He will tell you, I did not vote for Trump. He's a conservative, but he did not vote for Trump, and he gives as well to both sides.
Yeah.
So I like that. What product would any products that I would encourage? I'm eating these new Cape Cod potato chips.
I just want to say I am so fucking offended at all of this stuff. Potato chips. This really fits into our whole scheme, doesn't it?
It really is. It really does, because
I'm trying so hard to make this offensive, talking about porn websites and stuff, whatever, and you don't want any part of it. Man. No. You want to talk about Joshua Tree and potato chips.
But these potato chips are so good. They're like it's like those potatoes. It's like the Arby's. You know those the fries that they give you at Arby's. It's
curly fries.
It's not a curly fry, but don't they give you like a wedge? It's like a weaved type of. or maybe that's
waffle fries. You're talking about Mr. Hero.
Or Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A might have them too. I don't like Chick-fil-A either. But
Okay, well, I love Chick-fil-A, but these potato chips they're like that. There's like a waffle. They're delicious, dude. I could eat a whole bag just like that.
French fries. I just love French fries. That's my downfall. I could sit there and eat them all day long. Yeah.
What's your favorite smartphone app? Do you have one? Well, look at your phone. What's one that, like, if this were gone, you would have a hard time? Like,
I'm not into technology. Like, I can't even tell you. Like,
is that an iPhone or is that an Android?
Android.
Yeah, we really are different. For me, those of you listening, I'm going to give you right now some of my favorite apps. The first one is an app called Waze, Waze.
Okay.
This is good for you if you drive a lot. So I have probably a 40-minute drive every day to and from work. So what Waze is it is social navigation, meaning as I punch in, I'm going to go to work in the morning. What it does is it starts looking at other drivers as they've already driven on somewhere on that road.
Okay.
They can report police. They can report traffic jams.
Gotcha.
And so what Waze will do is in the morning when I say I'm going to work, it will start calculating from my home 3 different ways that I could go. And it would say, today, Scott, take a left. Instead of going right, take a left today. You'll be there 5 minutes earlier. So that's really good. It has literally saved me tickets, bro. And I'm a guy who used to grow up with radar detectors.
Yeah.
I would want to have one in the front of the car and one in the back because I was so concerned with getting pulled over. This thing has saved me so many tickets where it'll say cop ahead and I'll just slow down. Somebody without using Waze goes blasting by me. I watch them get pulled over every time. So Waze is good. Also,
so you're looking at your phone as you're driving?
No, I have it posted up here just like I'm an Uber driver, and I have it plugged into my stereo in the car, and I'm listening to Ben Shapiro, his podcast, and then it's saying
and
there's
this
police.
podcast.
Yeah, I don't listen to this, but there's a policeman ahead. Another thing it does is when I'm coming home in the evening, I can send a message to Deanna and it'll say Scott should be home around this time.
Okay,
and then when I'm like 5 minutes away, it'll say he'll be home in 5 minutes, and I think this is great. That way she can tell her boyfriend, "You've got to get out. He's coming."
I was going to say said she put that app on there so that you know
she knows when to kick him out,
and to know that you're not stepping at the strip club after work.
Sure. But more importantly, I consider it like it helps you have a healthy marriage.
If you need an app to have you a healthy marriage, and you don't have a healthy marriage,
so that's the app I like. The app I couldn't live without is iPassword, because I have so many passwords in my life that this app is a great way to store passwords. So, and I have passwords in there for myself, my sons, Deanna, for work, for play, whatever. iPassword, because I cannot remember them all.
Until that gets hacked, and then you're screwed. Huh. Yeah, you never think about that
one. So.
Yeah. I have Facebook and my email and Instagram and Amazon. That's about all I use.
See, I would think you'd use some kind of like photography app of some sort telling you like very specifically like sundown, like these hours.
There's an app like that tells you like what the percentage is for it to be like a fire
daylight.
Sky, or like a red sky at night. And, how the sunset's going to be and all that stuff. But you know what? I mean, honestly, that's cool and everything, but I don't know. I just tried it for more different things rather than sunsets. It's so cliche. They're beautiful. That's awesome. And everything. But there's a million other photographers doing that stuff. I'll let them stick with that, and I'll do the.
You'll keep taking pictures
stuff
of dead cats. Gotcha.
Yes, dead cats.
Well, everybody, this has not been the regular offensive type of podcast, but I want you to do not lose hope. As long as Trump is in office, there will be offensive things happening, and we will be here to help walk you through that, to try to give you some advice on whether or not you should be offended by these things. That's not to say that we're the end-all, be-all.
I'll say it. We are the end-all, be-all.
But our goal here is to help you thicken your skin up, and maybe get a little less offended by things,
or maybe more offended.
Maybe more offended, absolutely. Yeah. Because it all comes down to considering the source. Do they have value? Are you going to give them the power? And we say no. Don't do that.
Don't give the power.
Don't give them the power.
Don't give them
the power. Just toughen your skin up and move on.
You keep the power. If you're white, you got white power.
So thank you guys.
Black power.
So thank you guys for listening once again. Please tell your friends. Please subscribe to us on iTunes.
If you're Indian, you have red power.
Check out our website. We are at www.consideringthesource.com.
If you're Asian, you have yellow power.
If you can also check out Jeff's page. It is iconicphotographer.com. Any more?
If you're Eskimo, you got more white power. It's snow, I guess. I don't know. That's all I could think of.
That's a good one.
If you're gypsies, you got, what? I don't know.
So thank you guys for listening. Tell your friends about us. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We are at What's Off Weekly. And thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.